Hello, I'm Patty, and welcome to your yoga session with Yoga Basics. I'll be your instructor today. Let's go ahead and start by finding a comfortable seated position. You can sit on the floor, I'm sitting on some blankets, or you're welcome to sit on a chair. If you are going to use a chair, scoot yourself all the way to the front of the chair and just use the front of the chair for your sit bones, your hips, putting your feet flat on the floor in front of you. If you're going to use some blankets, grab some blankets that aren't going to squish underneath you. Quilts work. Real stiff pillows might work, or even a yoga block. And then once you do find your seat, let's make it a little bit less comfortable. So uncross your legs and cross them the other way. And then let's find your breath. You'll find your breath first outside of your nose, and then you'll feel it in your throat, but keep following it and see where else you can feel your breath. And then let's transition the point of origin of your breath from outside of your nose to down in your belly. And even though we don't really breathe with the belly, it's called belly breathing. It's sort of a shortcut because it feels like we're breathing with the belly, when really we're just changing the aspect of the diaphragm. If you'd like, you can place your hands on your low belly, and you can fill your hands as you inhale. And then literally draw your belly back in and up as you exhale. Let's do that again. Inhaling at the low belly, and then drawing the low belly in, back and up for your exhale. Once more, inhale at your low belly, allowing the breath to lift your spine. Maintain any lift you get as you allow the breath to slide back down, drawing the belly back to your spine. Excellent. Now, I invite you to bring your hands to your heart in the prayer position. In Sanskrit, this is called the Anjali Mudra, the mudra for overcoming obstacles. Your thumbs line up at about your sternum, and you gently press your palms, your thumbs, and your fingers together while pulling your shoulders apart, and you'll feel your heart lift and open. And as you feel your heart lift and open, take a moment and set an intention for yourself. Claim for yourself what it is that you want. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Take just another moment with this intention. And so it is. Blink your eyes open if they were closed. Inhale big. And then sigh out your exhale, bringing the hands back down. Now let's bring your legs out, release any tension that might have built up if you were sitting cross-legged, and just rock your legs. And I'd like to introduce Jesse, who's back with us today. He will be my yoga student with you. And we're going to go ahead and begin on hands and knees. So if you've got a blanket and your knees are tender, go ahead and put a blanket underneath your knees. I don't want your knees to take you out of this posture. So the posture is traditionally called cat-cow. I'm not crazy about the cow part of the posture because it drops the belly and it puts compression into the low back. So this is never needed. We can put compression into the low back naturally. We don't need to find it. So I prefer a flat back. With a flat back, you want to draw your belly in and support the low back with the muscles of the front of the tummy. Then you put your fingers wide apart as you can spread your hands, and you bring your shoulders right over your wrists. Your knees are a little bit open so that you have a knee underneath each hip. So we'll start here in a flat back, and then Jesse is going to open his shoulders, pulling his shoulders away from each other, and he's going to look up. This will be the inhale part. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin and arch your back like a big old cat, getting as high an arch as possible. Let's hold here for just a moment. You want that belly pulling up, the chin tucking down, and the shoulder blades spreading away from each other. You can take a good stretch here. While here in the cat part of this position, inhale and really feel the breath in the back of your body. And as you exhale, see if you can't squeeze even deeper into this arch. Now let's inhale to a flat back with your shoulders apart, looking up, finishing the inhale right here. Even bring the chin forward to stretch through the platysma muscle that covers the front of the thyroid. Stay for another in-breath, and now feel the breath moving into the front of the chest. And then your next exhale will go back into cat. Arching big, tucking the belly and pulling the belly back and tucking the chin. Take a breath here and feel the breath in the back of the body. And then as you inhale, bring yourself back to a flat back. Pulling the shoulders apart, reaching the chin forward like a little piranha. Chin is going forward. Make it look silly. Yes, sillier. Yes, very good. Take another in-breath here. And once more, exhale into the arch. Squeezing the belly and the chin and opening up the back of the body. Take an inhale into a flat back. And pause here for a moment. So we're going to push back into a wide-legged child's pose. So this one is going to have the knees apart, but your toes together. So bring your toes together, knees apart, and push back. And use your hands to press your hips back towards your heels. If your forehead comes to the mat, great. If it doesn't, just try to rest the neck so that it doesn't get too tight and melt into this shape. And notice how far away your hips are from your heels. As time goes on through just gentle, consistent practice, you're going to get more room in the joints of the knees and the joints of the hips. You're going to get more length through the muscles, and you'll be able to bring those hips even closer to the heels as time goes on. All right, so now we're going to transition back into the cat position, and we're going to balance this cat. So press yourself back up to all fours. Your fingers are spread wide. You want to press at the second knuckle of every finger. That's the knuckle closer to the palm, letting the tips of the fingers get a little bit light. Make sure the belly is pulled in so the low back is secure. And while you practice balancing cat, be very conscious of pulling your belly in so that you don't hang in the low back. As I said earlier, we do not need to find ways to put compression into the low back. It happens naturally. We want to find ways to take the compression out of the low back. So with this posture, Jesse's going to start by lifting his left arm up and getting his left arm at ear level. Now the thumb turns up, so the palm has turned in. He's going to reach these fingers away from his main body. Then, belly pulls in, he's going to pick up his right leg and reach the heel back. So the heel on that right leg is reaching away from the fingertips on the left. The belly is pulled in. Put more weight into your right hand, into your left knee, and breathe. Inhale, find some length in the body with the inhale, and as you exhale, continue to reach those fingers away from the heel. One more breath here, and then exhale, hands and feet back down to the mat, 4 on the floor, and press back to your wide-legged child's pose. And feel the difference of one side of the body to the other. Or maybe you don't feel a difference, that's all right as well. Just tune in and see. All right, inhale your way back up to all fours. Again, you're pressing with the second knuckle, the knuckle closer to the palm so that the fingertips get light. The belly's pulled in to protect the low back. Now you're going to lift your right arm up. The thumb faces up, the palm is inward, a little internal rotation or external rotation of the arm. Reaching these fingers away, draw the belly in securely, and the left leg picks up, and the heel reaches back. Now the heel on the aerial leg and the fingers on the aerial arm are reaching away from each other. Your belly is in to protect the low back, and you're breathing. Make sure there's enough weight in that left hand and in that right knee to hold this balancing cat. Reach, stretch on that inhale. Find as much length as you can, maintaining the posture on the exhale. Take another in-breath here. And then exhale, 4 on the floor. Press back, wide-legged child's pose. And take a break. And then inhale your way back up. Tuning now into the other side of the body. See if you feel balanced. You can go back to doing the left arm and the right leg, or we're going to try something new. Jesse may tip over on this one, and I'll catch Jesse. I can't catch you, though, so be careful. We're going to try to do the same side. So this time, Jesse, lift your left arm up. Little external rotation of the arm so that the thumb is up. Now, put weight in the right side of the body and try to pick the left leg up and reach that left heel away from those left fingers. Reach, reach, reach. It's very hard. And then come on down, 4 on the floor. Good job. Let's do the other side. That right arm reaches up. Engage the low belly, put plenty of weight on the left side of your body, right leg reaches up, heel reaches away from those fingers, reach extension on the inhale, and then on the exhale, bring it back 4 on the floor. Good job. A little balancing cat. Now we're going to have Jesse come to his back with his knees bent, and it's time for the upside down portion of your session. So if you've got those blankets or pillows that you are sitting on, make sure they're really firm so they don't squish, and we're going to put them under your tailbone. Now I'm going to help Jesse get into his position. You'll have to grab yours. So if you do need to roll to the right and press up, that's okay. So Jesse, press into your feet, lift your hips. You at home, lift your hips. And we're going to place some blankets right underneath the hips at the sacrum. So it's high on the buttocks, but it's low on the waist. Is that comfortable? Bring your knees into your belly, and if the low back is still comfortable, yes, allow your legs to come straight up. This is the upside down portion. This is a very gentle way to go upside down. So far, in all of my clinical work, I haven't found anyone that cannot do this. So you've got your feet above your head and your hips above your heart. There's a fluid in the body called lymph fluid, and this fluid only moves when you move. The lymph fluid travels throughout the body, cleansing the blood. But the lymph nodes in the liver that refresh and cleanse the lymph fluid is found mostly in the torso. You've got a couple lymph nodes behind the knees, but not much. So we, as the pump of our own lymph fluid, have to get all the fluid that's in this half of the body to this part of the body. And we do that by going upside down. While you're here, you're welcome to roll out through your ankles, finding some motion, remembering that joints in the human body like to be rolled in circles. This excites the synovial cells that line the joints, creating more synovial fluid to cushion and cleanse those joints. You can also find a moment to spread and clench your toes, remembering that some of the nerves that are in the toes are also in your face and in your neck. So as you work through your toes, you're positively affecting nerves that have their other endpoint at the other end of the body. We've also got the hips above the heart. So not only is lymph fluid draining, but we've changed the aspect of gravity on the inside of the body, releasing any congestion that might have been trapped through all the miles of digestive tubing. You're opening up for a free flow of fluid and energy. Now find a little bit of stillness here and just feel, bringing your attention into your feet and into your legs. Maybe it feels a little tingly or draining. Whatever it is that you feel and however you want to describe it, just tune in and follow these sensations. There's also a change in your perspective when you go upside down and you put your feet above your head and your hips above your heart. So you can tune into this as well and feel yourself being upside down. Now we're going to transition into a reclining twist. So take a good inhale here, a final nice stretch with the feet up in the air. And then as you exhale, bring your feet down to the mat, press into your feet and lift your hips. While your hips are in the air, take the blankets or the pillow or the blocks out from under them and keep your hips in the air for just a moment, tucking one shoulder behind you and then tucking the other shoulder behind you. And just take a good strength building lift. And this is one of the few times I'll say squeeze through the buttock muscles and really lift the hips up and let your belly soften for just a moment here in Setu Bandha Bridge. Now release the tension from the bridge, soften the lift of the hips just a little, but while the hips are in the air, shift them to the right and lower them to your mat or to the floor. Your hips are now offset to the right. Straighten your left leg. Allow your right knee to come into your belly. You can hold the front of the right knee or you can hold the back of that right thigh. Pulling this knee in and now pointing the toes on the left foot. So you're taking a stretch along the top of this left side and into the back of the right side. And the pelvic floor area is a soft set of figure eight mesh-like muscles that take an angle to angle stretch. So inhale into your stretch. And then exhale the knee across your body, bringing the knee all the way over to the floor on the left side of your body. And then let your right arm reach up, stretching through your right side body. Take a good long stretch here, and then allow that arm to open into a T. Your shoulder, your right shoulder and your right arm are probably levitating up off the mat. This is just fine. We want the knee to be down because this will keep the lumbar spine stationary. Lumbar spines don't rotate very much. The rest of the body does, or the rest of the spine does. And eventually, the weight of these arm bones will start to open up at your clavipectoral sheath, this nice tight connective tissue through here, and give you more room. Again, just over gentle and consistent practice. Find your breath. And it looks like Jesse has been doing yard work or something because his inner shoulders are really tight, so I'm going to give him a blanket for his head. And that way the head's not tipping back too far, straining at the neck muscles. So if you think you might need a blanket for your neck, go ahead and grab it. But don't let it close the throat, just to give a little bit of support. Inhale here. And on your exhale, draw your knee into your belly and roll to your back. Put your feet on the mat and square your hips. Once you're square, press into your feet, lift your hips again. Now while they're in the air, shift them to the left and lower them back to the mat or the floor. Your hips are offset to the left and straighten your right leg. Bring your left knee into your belly. You can grab the front of the knee or the back of that thigh, remembering that the pelvic floor area, the bladder, the prostate in some of you is down there. It's in a figure 8 shape and it takes an angle to angle stretch. So that's what you're doing now as you point the right toes and pull the left knee back. Take a nice good breath into this stretch, opening up this area of your body for a free flow of fluid and energy. Inhale here, and on the exhale, bring the knee across your body, all the way over to the floor on the right side. If for some reason that knee can't get to the floor, you can take the toes and tuck them on top and behind the straight leg, or you can put the knee onto a block or onto blankets because you want the knee to be still. You want the lumbar spine to stay still. We're going to stretch through the thoracic and cervical. So reach that right arm up over your head, left arm, stretch that left arm up, opening up the left side body. Take a nice good inhale here, and exhale, open that arm to a T, palm up, letting the arm and the shoulders stay elevated if they are. If you're lucky enough to have a knee and a shoulder on the floor, congratulations, that means you're very flexible. And if you'd like to deepen this twist, you can bend at the elbow, trying to bring your forearm back to the floor. If you try to do that though while the arm is levitating, it's really almost too deep a stretch. Allowing the inhale to lift you just a little, and allowing the exhale to drop you a little bit deeper into the pose, maybe turning your head farther and looking down that straight left arm. Soften into this shape, allowing your body to melt into this twist, softening your face, your fingers, softening your belly and your back, allowing certain muscles, little metaphyseal muscles that line the spine to engage, and that way if the spine needs an adjustment, it can be made now. This is an incredibly nourishing pose for your spine as well as for almost the whole body. Okay, from here, inhale, and on your exhale, draw your knee into your belly and roll to your back. Feet on the mat and square your hips. Now, you're probably just fine where you are, but I'm going to have Jesse turn around. So Jesse, if you'll roll to your right, press up and bring your head to this end of the mat. So we're going to give Jesse a supported Savasana today. Bend your knees. I've noticed that he's a little bit tight through the hips and through the shoulders, so we're going to release some of that tension by giving him a blanket for his head. Head first, just because I'm here. Yep. And you want to make sure that the blanket gives you some comfort and support, but it doesn't close you here. So if the chin is tucked like this, that's too much blanket. Just enough to get your ears and your shoulders on the same plane. Now, bring your knees into your belly, and we're going to give them some support for the back of the knees, and this is for the low back. Let your legs go long over that support. You can roll up just about anything, and you want to support the knees that are high up on the knees, closer to the thighs, and this allows the pelvis to tilt and the low back to rest on the mat. Once you've found your supported Shavasana position, let's do 3 squeezes. So bring your knees into your belly, wrap your arms around your legs, your feet are side by side. Inhale here, and exhale, squeeze yourself into a tiny little ball. Loosen the squeeze, inhale. Exhale, squeeze, pull the belly back, tuck your chin to your chest. Loosen the squeeze, inhale. Exhale, squeeze. It's a final internal massage. Make yourself tiny. And then release. Let your legs go long over the blanket if you're using it. Let your head rest on the blanket here if you're using this. Once you've found this position, rock to make sure your low back is comfortable. Let your palms face up and flatten through your upper back. Whatever you have to do to get those shoulder blades to flatten. Your toes splay open. Let your knees get soft. Imagine that your thighs are heavy. Allow your belly to soften so that your navel drops towards your spine as you exhale. Release your chest. Let your heart lift, but your shoulders lower, melting your shoulders down your arms until your palms feel like puddles. Swallow, releasing through your throat, letting the skin on your cheeks go slack. Allow your tongue to rest gently in the back of your mouth, releasing any conversation with yourself and instead tuning into observation of yourself. Observe as your tongue spreads side to side. Soften your face. Bring your gaze inward. Be brave and release the grip of your brain, letting it rest gently in the back of your skull. Let your skull widen and spread on the blanket or the mat or the floor. Find your front body, and in its entirety, let it melt into your back body. Let your back body then melt into the mat, into the floor, into the ground. Now we're going to stay here in this Shavasana, trying to completely be relaxed for the next few long moments, observing your breath as it moves through your body, observing your body as you continue to soften any areas of tension, whether newly sprung up or long held. Just let it go and observe your mind. Notice what thoughts keep trying to bubble up and just say shh to yourself. Let go of the thoughts and escort your mind back to your breath and back to your body. Tuning in to the best of your ability into the various vibrations of you. If you'd like, you can take the sensations that you feel at your fingertips and your lips best, and you can allow those sensations to move as deep into your body as your imagination can go. And then you can take those same sensations and try to pull them out of your bones, out through your fluid and tissue, trying to feel those sensations in the space outside of your skin. Now go ahead and gently begin to deepen your breathing. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, and then make circles with your wrists and your ankles. Big, wide circles in one direction and then in the other. And then reach your arms up long and stretch your fingers away from your feet. Make space, especially through your belly. You can point the toes, you can flex the feet, and release. Draw your knees into your belly, roll to your right. Make a pillow for your head with your right arm. Pause here while your body transitions and take this moment and thank yourself for your practice, enabling the gifts and the benefits to continue to penetrate to every level, including the deepest level. Thank you. Inhale. And on the exhale, use mostly the strength of your left arm to gently press yourself up, coming into any seated position that you'd like to be in. Your legs can be straight, you can sit on the blankets, whatever you want to do, just bring your hands to your heart, lift your heart, bow your head, and namaste. I hope you have a great day.